Coming up on Sportsource, we're kicking off all things G-Day as the Dogs get ready to return to Sanford Stadium this Saturday for their annual spring scrimmage. But not every familiar face will be on the field. UGA defensive end Nazir Stackhouse's role in this year's game looks a little different as he sets his sights on the NFL. We'll take a closer look at what's next for him. Plus, tight end Oscar Delp reflects on his favorite G-Day memories and shares why this spring tradition means so much to him and the Bulldog community. Sportsource starts now. Welcome to a special edition of Sportsource. I am your host, Paige Collins. It may be the off-season, but the energy in Athens feels like a fall Saturday. G-Day is back, and the Bulldogs are set to give fans a first look at what this next chapter could hold. First up, joining us now is Sportsource reporter Nigel Whittington, who met with UGA's Nazir Stackhouse. But first of all, Nigel, you're looking a little different.
Well, Paige, a special occasion calls for special attire, and tomorrow Sanford Stadium will be filled with students, alumni, and everyone in between that makes up Dog Nation. While G-Day means something different to the thousands of fans who'll gear up for another Saturday in Athens, it holds a special place in the heart of players. I sat down with former UGA football player and current draft hopeful Nazir Stackhouse to understand what makes G-Day so special and what it's like preparing for the 2025 NFL Draft. For Nazir and many players in Athens, the University of Georgia's spring football scrimmage is more than just a game.
It means a lot. You know, some guys going through the spring, it probably mean like, oh man, it's the end of spring. You know what I mean? I get to go on my little break, this and that. But I feel like it's just more than that. You know, you can actually go out there and show everybody what y'all been working on. You know, actually show the fans like, hey, this is the new Georgia. You know, we're gonna give you a little trailer, a little glimpse of what we've been working on. So going out there to perform in front of all the fans, it's like a big thing.
Stackhouse was one of the many Dogs that declared for the NFL Draft this offseason, and after being a part of both the 2021 and 2022 title teams, he looks back to where each season has began.
Freshman year, man, like it was a lot going through my head. You know, like the whole time I'm just thinking about trying to make a name for myself. You know, gain respect from my teammates, and you know, basically just going out there and perform. It's like when you go out there, it's like you would think, I can't make a mistake. So you try to go out there and perform you try to be perfect.
With the NFL Draft coming up only a few weeks after G-Day, for Stackhouse, it gives him a chance to focus on where his and many others' journeys to the NFL started.
To the 20, Stackhouse!
While his goal of playing on Sundays may become a reality later this month, on Saturday, when all of Dog Nation packs Sanford Stadium, Stackhouse will be right alongside them, this time as a fan. To many of us, it may just be another scrimmage, but from two-time title winners to SEC champion quarterbacks and every player in between, G-Day is a way to showcase their talents and give a sneak peek of their upcoming season to the Georgia faithful. Back to you, Paige.
Thanks, Nigel. Nazir Stackhouse may be looking ahead to the NFL, but there's still plenty of talent taking the field this G-Day. Joining me now is Sportsource analyst Keisha Chestnut with more on the newcomers and returning stars. Keisha?
Who should fans be watching when red takes on black? Find out after the break. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Sportsource. I'm joined here with Sportsource analyst Keisha Chestnut, who is here to tell us impact players, leaders, and new faces we should look out for on this squad for G-Day.
Thank you, Paige. It's another Saturday in Athens where G-Day is taking place tomorrow in Sanford Stadium, where the Dogs will give us a preview of what's to come in the fall season. Georgia fans know that the standard is high on this team, but with transfers, NFL drafts, and new rookies, here are some Dogs to keep your eyes on Saturday. Let's start with offense. Georgia lost Dominic Lovett and Arian Smith to the NFL draft, but there's a new name to know, Noah Thomas. He's a 6'6" wide receiver who transferred from Texas A&M. In 2024, he had 574 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns on just 39 catches. One big reason he came to Georgia, to reunite with Coach Coley. Here's what he had to say.
Georgia's a prestigious school. Coach Coley used to coach me over at Texas A&M, so great relationship with him, great dude, real genuine, and just all about Georgia is everything that I want.
And there's a new true freshman to watch out for. Elias Williams was the #1 tight end in the previous recruiting class. In high school, he had racked up 789 yards and 11 touchdowns. Tomorrow, his G-Day debut will be on the field.
Now let's switch to the defense. Some key players are back this year, but they've got some competition, right?
Right. Dalen Everett and Daniel Harris are returning back for another season. Everett last season posted for 58 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 picks. But there is some competition in that cornerback room. Ellis Robinson, who had unknown injuries last year, is fully healthy and ready to show out. Here's what he had to say.
Hardest lesson that I had to learn from my freshman year, I'd probably say, was being patient. You know, because, I wanted to be out there on the field, but at the end of the day, I knew that my time was coming, and I knew that it was going to come eventually. So, just staying patient and just trusting the process of what they had planned for me.
New faces making their debut and vets holding down their spot. G-Day would be an interesting matchup. The Dogs are back between the hedges tomorrow in Sanford Stadium at 1 p.m. Back to you, Paige.
Thanks, Keisha. I'm looking forward to seeing who steps up this weekend. Coming up on Sportsource, Georgia tight end Oscar Delp returns for his senior season in the red and black, and he's got unfinished business. Find out what's driving him in 2025, that's next. And still ahead, G-Day is about more than just football. It's about the fans, the memories, and what makes this game so special. Later on Sportsource. Welcome back to Sportsource. Tight end Oscar Delp returns for his senior season in the red and black. He's been a key part of Georgia's offense, but he's got some unfinished business. Sportsource reporter Lainey Martin caught up with Delp. Let's take a closer look.
Thanks, Paige. Georgia fans are excited to hear the news that tight end Oscar Delp is returning for another season. Today, we're taking a closer look into his favorite memories from last season and what he's looking forward to in his senior year. Check it out.
Oscar, you decided to come back for another year at Georgia. Was there a moment or reason that helped you make that choice?
I think just talking with my family and all the coaches and just all my teammates that I'm still here with. It was just the best decision for me and everyone around me. So I'm excited to come back for this year.
That's awesome. How excited are you for your senior season?
I can't wait. I mean, we're in spring ball right now, and it feels like I could be playing a game in a week. So I can't wait for next season. I'm really excited.
That's great. So looking back on last season, how do you think it helped you grow as a player and a leader?
I think I grew a lot in a lot of different areas. I think just, we had some tough games and a lot of games that came down to the wire. And I think just, figuring out how that was on the field and, with those guys in that locker room, helped me learn a lot and that we could use for this season also.
That's amazing. So I have to know, what was your favorite game last season and why?
I'd say probably the Tennessee game just because that's probably the best game I played last season, and it was just a crazy atmosphere. And they had all the fireworks and all that stuff that we haven't really seen before, so that was super cool.
That's awesome. What would you say was your top favorite memory from that game?
I think just my first touchdown that I scored in that game, and then it was dark and the fans were going crazy, and I saw the fireworks going off, so it was just a full circle moment. It was super cool.
That's awesome. So you're in the middle of spring practice right now. G-Day is coming up, and then summer practices. What is the biggest goal you're hoping to accomplish before the regular season starts?
I think just, develop a really strong connection with everyone on the team. I feel like we've got a good connection with everyone in that locker room, but, we had a lot of new guys coming. I know we're going to have some more coming in the summer. So I think just, having a close team, a lot of good guys that everyone's cool with, and just a tight locker room.
Yeah, that's awesome. So to throw a fun one in there, what music do you listen to when you're warming up on game days?
I'd say probably Travis Scott. He's probably my favorite artist, so I listen to a lot of him.
That's a good one. And lastly, what is your favorite part about playing for the University of Georgia?
I think just having, the best facilities, the best fans, and the best city in the country. You got everything right here in Athens, so it's awesome to be here every day.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Oscar.
It was great catching up with him and seeing how motivated he is for his senior season. From chatting about his favorite football memories to his warm-up playlist, we know he's ready to get back on the field and attack the day. It's always great to get an inside look about what drives players to reach their highest potential and their love for Athens. Back to you, Paige.
Thanks, Lainey. I also agree with Delp that we are the best fans in the best city. With leaders like Oscar Delp returning, there's a lot to be excited about this fall. Still ahead in our G-Day coverage, it's more than just football. G-Day in Athens is about tradition, memories, and the fans who make it all feel like home. Find out what makes this day so special to the Bulldog community. And while the traditions run deep, the pride runs bold, especially when it comes to the colors the players wear. The uniforms are a big part of the game day traditions. Find out which jersey color fans love the most. Don't go away. Sportsource returns after this short break. Welcome back to Sportsource. Every spring, Sanford Stadium fills with the sounds of football. But G-Day is more than just the game, where traditions are honored and fans of all ages come together to celebrate what it means to be a Georgia Bulldog. Sportsource reporter Avery Cameron took to campus to find out what it's all about.
G-Day in Athens isn't just about football. It's about the fans, tradition, and the memories that bring Bulldogs together year after year. While the scrimmage on the field gives fans a glimpse of what's to come, the real magic happens outside of the stadium. From tailgates to shared stories, it's time to reflect on the past and look ahead to the future of Georgia football. I hit campus to see what makes this day so special.
What's your most favorite memory from G-Day?
Probably last year, getting like 2 tackles in the game. That was probably the funnest experience, yeah.
G-Day is fun because there's a ton of school spirit. It's just, it gets you back in the spirit in the spring. It's been a while. Everyone misses the football game, so you just come back and it's just good vibes all around, a lot of fun.
Honestly, just like being there again. I mean, it's been so long since the last football game, so being back in that atmosphere, seeing all the players, just have a good time, chill.
Yeah, and what do you think makes a G-Day atmosphere different than a normal fall football game?
It's definitely all like the true fans there because nobody really goes to the spring game, so definitely all the true fans there. Everybody kind of knows the players, everybody knows what's going on, so it's definitely more intimate atmosphere. Like everybody knows what's happening.
It's my first G-Day, so I'm just looking at having fun playing and being in Sanford Stadium for the first time.
What is your favorite memory from a previous G-Day game?
Kirby yelling at the top of his voice and being able to hear it.
Yeah, do you remember what he said?
I cannot say because he was cussing.
Perfect. And then what's your favorite memory?
I'm on Spike Squad, so I got to paint up for G-Day, and it was really cool.
How many teams are you going to beat?
All of them.
G-Day is clearly more than just a spring game. It's a reminder of why Saturdays in Athens are so special. Whether it's the tailgates, the traditions, or just being surrounded by fellow dedicated dogs, this day brings the Bulldog Nation together in a way that goes beyond the scoreboard. And with G-Day kicking off tomorrow, fans are ready to celebrate. And you heard Jordan Hall. They're ready to beat all of them this fall. Back to you, Paige.
Thanks, Avery. There is no doubt the energy around G-Day sets the tone for what's to come this fall. It's clear Bulldog Nation is fired up and ready. From the classic red to the bold black, and even the clean white, UGA's uniforms are part of the tradition. With G-Day right around the corner, Sportsource reporter Colin Miller is here to tell us which color students favor the most.
Thanks, Paige. Now, G-Day isn't just a chance for fans to see some of their favorite Bulldogs take the field in the spring. It's also a chance to see 2 iconic UGA uniforms, the red and black, face off in Sanford Stadium. With the matchup approaching fast, I took to UGA campus to find out which uniform Dog fans love to root for the most on Saturdays. Red, black, or white? So G-Day coming up, red versus black. What do you think is the best UGA football color and why?
Ooh, I would say red.
I'm going to say red.
I think red.
I'm a fan of red.
Okay, I like red.
I've got to go with the red and black.
I feel like it's such a bold color, and you can never go wrong with like an all-red fit to support Georgia.
Because it's the staple color and it pops out.
Just a classic, and you just love seeing everybody wearing red.
It hasn't changed in forever. You just got to love it.
Because it just screams go Dogs.
I like the color combo over like the white and black. Me personally, I'm wearing a red jersey right now, so I think that's what looks best.
I do think that the black jerseys are really cool, but I also just like the classic red. I feel like they just look really clean and nice.
I like the black one, but the white one also looks very good because it does match the teeth when the football players smile.
Gotta go black.
Go with black.
Just to love the full blackout uniform.
I think black by far is the best color.
I think black. I think black, because I like an all-black look.
It's just fire.
Just blackout games are electric.
This black's just a clean look, and the blackout games look cool.
Just instill a little fear in the opponents.
Just because it's so rare, and it's game time when it's black on, for sure.
Whether it's for intimidation or pure style, Dog fans had a wide range of reasons for their favorite jersey. And while a lot of fans do love the classic look, it's clear that many are itching to see black jerseys on the field again this fall, something that hasn't happened in almost 5 years. Now, whether they get their wish or not, they'll at least have the chance to see the iconic jersey on the field this Saturday at G-Day. Back to you, Paige.
Thanks, Colin. And wow, seems like there is a split of opinions between red or black. But hopefully our wishes will come true and we will see the black jerseys on the field this fall. With all this football talk, we can't forget that we are in the peak of baseball season. When we return, we will unpack what's been going on with Georgia baseball. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sportsource. We are going to end our show taking a break from the G-Day festivities because the baseball team is a must to talk about as they are ranked number 7 in the NCAA right now. The Bulldogs are about to face the number 1 ranked team, Arkansas, at home. And Sportsource reporter Poppy Marquez got to chat with one of the veteran players in the Bulldog lineup.
That's right, Paige. Earlier this week, I got to chat with Georgia center fielder Nolan McCarthy. McCarthy is a graduate student transfer from Kentucky, where he played for 4 years and led his team to their first visit to Omaha in program history. Heading into this big series, I wanted to learn a little bit more about McCarthy's background in baseball and his growth over the season. Okay, Nolan, so we're going to start with day 1. In as much detail as possible, walk me through your first memory of you with a baseball.
First day with a baseball, I think I was in a church league t-ball team with my dad and my sister, and I was playing up because my sister is 2 years older, and yeah, I don't think I was very good, but I definitely loved it. My dad pushed it on me early and kind of fell in love with it since then.
Wow, so if you didn't start off, as a stellar player, like how did you start getting good?
Honestly, I just loved it, and through high school, I wasn't the best player. I was always good, but undersized. And then my junior year, I kind of came into my my frame a little bit and started having some power, and that's when it kind of all started, going forward from there.
You mentioned being undersized, and I know that you model your playing a lot off of Pete Rose, who was undersized. And it sounds like, your relationship with your dad kind of is similar to his relationship with his dad. And I'm wondering, I'm a big Pete Rose fan.
Yeah.
When I played Little League, I was number 14 for Pete Rose. But I read his memoir, and he talked about how being undersized, like, in addition to his dad, just forced him to be the hustler that he was. Do you feel like you had that same experience as a kid?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I got to Kentucky, I wasn't always on the field, and I had to do whatever it took for me to get on the field and stay on the field. And whether that's moving around in the box to make my my weaknesses less, or hustle on the base paths, I just had to do whatever it took. And definitely modeled after Pete Rose. My dad always taught me to hustle, so yeah, just doing whatever it takes. And I wasn't always the guy who could hit it 500 feet. Or hit 500, so I had to do whatever it took to make my strengths and mitigate my weaknesses.
All right, in high school, you played a lot of shortstop and pitcher, and I read that you were the number 4 ranked shortstop for Perfect Game in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to Kentucky and were playing outfield.
Yep.
How did that switch happen?
So I was playing shortstop at Kentucky for the first couple weeks of scrimmages, and we had a really good shortstop in Ryan Ritter, and our infield was kind of loaded. And Coach Coggin, actually, who was there with me, he moved into the outfield, and it took a little bit, like a couple months to click, but then I felt way more comfortable in the outfield than I ever did at shortstop. So I think it was the best move for me, and I love the outfield now. But I'd love to play some infield again later in my career if that comes to it. But yeah, definitely love the outfield.
Right now in your season, you're batting .328, and you've already reached your total home runs from last season with 8. And it's funny because you've already been coached by Ammo and Coggin.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you attribute your hitting to this season?
Definitely just maturing as a player. And then we played a much more hitters friendly ballpark than Kentucky was. And at Kentucky, it was just trying to hit the ball on the ground, trying to create pressure because the wind was always blowing in. But here I can kind of let my swing work a little more, and less sacrifice bunting, less trying to get the runner from second to third with no outs, like hitting the ball on the ground, but kind of just more free. And Ammo and Coggin are really good with the swing, and they kind of just helped me make a little bit of an adjustment to get the ball in the air more. So it's helped quite a bit.
And coming from Kalamazoo, Michigan, to then moving south to Kentucky, and then moving more south to Georgia, what is something that you've learned about yourself throughout this journey that you didn't know beforehand?
I love seeing new places, and I love the warm weather. Coming from Michigan, it's snowing right now at home. We had our Ring camera, and there's snow all over the place. So it's nice to be in 70 degrees, and it's awesome playing against the best players in the country. And the SEC doesn't get any better than that. So I just love it here, and I love this league and this part of the country.
McCarthy's veteran leadership will continue to be a crucial part of the Bulldog lineup as they head into the second half of SEC play.
Thanks, Poppy. As well as G-Day, make sure to stay updated on the Arkansas series. Now, there's less than a day until the Dogs return to Sanford Stadium. Now that we've covered the ins and outs, you are more than prepared for Saturday. Thanks for joining us for this week's special edition of Sportsource. Go out and enjoy G-Day and have a great weekend. I'm Paige Collins, and go Dogs.